guys, Debbie here. Welcome to my channel or welcome back. Today I've got a super exciting video for you because I've got the Nomad Cosmetics America's Parks palette to show you. So excited for this one. I was sent this, not in PR, I won the Starfish award. I think it was April that I won. And if you're not aware what Nomad Starfish award is, it's nominated by other people for small creators. And I just think it's a lovely way that Nomad have of giving back to their small creator community. And just whoever voted for me, I'm not sure who it was actually, but whoever it was, thank you so much, because I actually won last year and I've won again this year. You can win only once per year, but to win 2 years in a row just really warms my heart. It never goes unnoticed how much support I have in this community when I don't always show up that often with videos, but you guys are always there for me. So thank you so much. Nomad, thank you so much for sending this across. It is stunning. You've done an amazing job with it. It's got a unique theme to it. I've never seen anything done quite like this. I love the packaging with all of the tickets from the parks kind of stuck on a suitcase. I think that's so unique, but it's so on brand as well. And just the theme, like covering the beautiful parks of America, which is somewhere I'd love to go. When I opened this palette, the first thing that I noticed was the outer packaging, which was, it's wrapped in like a cardboard kind of bubble wrap, which I'd never seen before. And I was like, oh, that's different. What's that all about? And then when you open up the palette, there's normally a horrible plasticky sheet in palettes to protect the shadows. But instead there was this, which is tissue paper. And then I've seen one of their Instagram posts saying that they're reducing all of their plastic use in their palettes, which I think is absolutely fantastic, and that they started with one that's all to do with kind of nature and the parks. Yeah, really loving that. So what you're here for though is to see the inside of the palette, I'm sure. So this is the beautiful colours. It's just so stunning. I'll show you it up super close. So you've got in the palette 6 mattes and you've got 9 shimmers. So the mattes are laid out in a nice way actually. You've got them sort of there and then there and then there. So they're kind of spread across the palette. And I think the layout makes it super easy to kind of figure out what you're going to do. So you've got your sort of more cool tones here and warm tones here and the greens in the middle. So I'm loving that. There's some interesting shapes in here in the pans, like they look like little mountain kind of shapes, and they look like a new formula. So I did use the middle one there. There's a couple of sparkly duochromes. They're really glitzy shadows as well, the shimmers. So I think more so than I've ever seen from Nomad, and I've always loved their shimmer formula. But yeah, really interesting colour story because it could go super neutral. I think for those of you that perhaps just want to edge into a little bit of colour but are frightened by a full-on rainbow of colours on your eyes, and this is perfect. So I think green is kind of considered like a bit more of a neutral if you're hopping into colour. I love, of course, that there's an orangey red in here. You guys know that I love those sort of shades. I love the kind of grunginess of the yellow in there. I think it goes light to dark. I think there's so much you could do with this palette, honestly. I was so excited when I opened it. I think pictures of it don't do it justice, and it's just so much more beautiful and glitzy and sparkly when you see it real. So I think what we should do is hop into the tutorial for this look that I've created with the palette I'm wearing on my eyes right now. And then what I'll do is catch up with you at the end and give you my thoughts on the shades that I've used so far. Obviously I couldn't use them all. I've tried to incorporate as many as I possibly can though, just to show you a variety of the different formulas and finishes, but still create a cohesive look. So let's hop into the tutorial and I'll catch you on the flip side with my thoughts on the palette. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot, and I think I'm going to go in with this purple shade in my outer corner and this green in my inner part of my crease. Don't know what else yet, but I want to try out a lot of these shimmers because they're so pretty. So I'm going to start with the purple and build that up in my outer V and outer crease. I'm going to go for a rounded kind of shape today. So I'm just packing that on in the outer corner and in my outer V, and then I will bring it across to meet with the green, but obviously we don't want it touching the green, but I'm really just building up the pigment first in this outer corner. Love the tones of this purple. It's not in your face like bright purple, it's like an aubergine kind of purple, which goes really nicely with the neutral tones in the palette. But as soon as I saw that it had a purple in there, I was excited because I think it takes the palette in a lot of different directions. Like if you think of national parks, I'm thinking of greens and browns, but I think they've done an amazing job with the colour story in making it versatile and not just sticking to those tones. Just love the overall theme of this. It's somewhere I've never been. Been to America a few times. I've been to Boston on a long weekend. I've been to Las Vegas for a very extended trip because we got stuck there when 9/11 happened. Our flight was cancelled and we ended up going for a week, but ended up being there for 2. And I've also been to New York, which we went for Christmas and New Year many years ago. I was in my early 20s. So I've not been to America for a long time, but my mum and dad went to the national parks. When they kind of got rid of us as kids and had their freedom back, they started to do these amazing holidays. And their pictures of that trip, it was like a coach trip to lots of different parks, and they saw some amazing sights, and I've always wanted to do it. So yeah, absolutely love the theme of this. I think it's amazing. Just taking that shadow onto my lower lash line as well, because I'm going to kind of echo on my upper lash line what I do on my lower. And as I say, I just want to bring this across slightly, but we're going to really need to fade that so that we can get it to not blend too much with the green. It's not going patchy at all, which is good. Just going to take a bit bigger blending brush just to blend around the edges. I love the Nomad matte formula because it's not too scary off the bat. You've got plenty of time to sort of build it up. It's beginner friendly, but it builds up really well as well. I'm just going to go back in and re-intensify this outer V. Now I've done some blending, I've kind of lost a little bit of the intensity there, which always happens. I think I'm going to take this shade Blue Ridge Parkway in the inner part actually. I love this one. This was one of the shades that was sneak peeked, and as soon as I saw it I was like, what a beautiful green that is. I love the bear imprint as well. You almost don't want to touch Nomad shadows because you don't want to ruin the imprint. So I'm going to take that on the inner part of my crease here. I'm going to leave a little bit of space to put Everglades in the centre of my crease. So just taking this just in this inner corner. That's a beautiful shade. So these are my kind of tones because they've got that jewel tone about them. Loving this already. I'm trying to keep this concentrated, as I say, just in this corner part of my crease, but quite high because I like my shadows to be seen. Just going to blend that just on the edges. I think I'm getting a bit better at this blending in the inner corner thing, so it doesn't look quite so harsh now, which is good. Alright, kind of something like that. Really want to make that smoky green in that inner corner. And then in the centre between those two, I'm going to go in with Everglades, beautiful apple kind of green, and a different tone of green entirely to Blue Ridge Parkway. But I think it might just tie everything together in the centre there. So I'm just being careful where it touches that purple, just to lay it next to the purple rather than blend it into it. I love that little pop it's giving in the centre there. Getting some fall down on my lids, but it won't matter because we're going to cover those with the beautiful shimmers in a moment. Take some of that same shade on my lower lash line in the centre. I love how grungy and kind of dark this is turning out. Just going to extend that green into the front part of my lower lash line. This is the Blue Ridge Parkway, the one with the bear imprint. Right, so that's all the groundwork done in the matte. So onto the shimmers. I want to use 3 of the shimmers today. I want to try that one. So I think that one's going to go in the centre actually. That one a bit closer to my inner corner. That one towards my outer corner where the purple starts. So I'm going to cover my lids with NYX Glitter Primer. I'm not really doing a cut crease as such. Just want to give the shimmers something to adhere to. These look super beautiful shimmers though. I don't think they're going to need too much help at all. I'm just taking that glitter primer quite high into my crease so I can bring my shimmers high. I like my shimmers quite high in my crease. So I'm going to take Acadia Lighthouse first and put that in the inner part here. Oh wow, that one's super, super pretty. I love these kind of tealy colours like this. That's stunning. So I want to bring that fairly high into my crease, but kind of blend it to the matte that's there. Oh, that is stunning. Favourite shade so far. I really do love Nomad shimmer formula, and that they have different textures, different finishes in every palette. First time I'd ever tried a multi-chrome was from them with the Tokyo Harajuku, and I've been obsessed with their shimmers ever since. That looks really pretty. Not complicated at all. I'm going to bring that colour kind of down into my inner corner, and I might just layer something else over the top of that at the end. And then for the middle I want to use that Ho Rainforest. That feels more like a normal shimmer. Oh, it's got a real appley greenness to it now. It's really pretty though. Oh, that was a good decision. That's blending nicely with that other shimmer. Just giving us that pop of kind of appley green. And then I've left enough space now for the shade Big Bend, which is such a unique looking colour. Had to use that one. Just using that one to fade out into that purple from the South Rim matte shade. Oh, that is so pretty. Love that one. For my very inner corner here, just want to see if I can amp up the glitz a bit with this one. I'm just dragging that down a little bit into my tear duct area there. Okay, so that's the look to this point. Just going to hop off camera to add all the finishing touches, and I'll be back with you with a completed look and to wrap up my thoughts on the shades I've used so far. Okay guys, so this is the completed look of course. What I've done is put a green in my waterline. This is Lethal Cosmetics Side Effects Gel Liner in the shade Equalise. Wanted to just add a little bit more touch of green. I was really feeling the green today. And then for my lips, I thought I'd go with a shiny lip. I don't do that too often. In the summer, I kind of want to bust these out a bit more. It's one of the Fantastic lipsticks from LH Cosmetics they are now, was Linda Hallberg. And this one's in the shade Garnet. These are really nice if you're, like me, you're not particularly keen on gloss, but you want a glossy lip, because they don't feel like that slip and kind of stickiness and gloopiness of a gloss, but they do have that shine and they're a bit more long lasting as well. But yeah, on to my thoughts on the palette then. Well, as I said in the beginning, love the colour story. I think they've definitely amped up the glitziness of those shimmers. That shade in particular, Acadia Lighthouse, that one, just so gorgeous. That's the one that's on my inner lids here. The formula, I went and tried one of those with the kind of mountainy shape in. I tried that one. It's more like a traditional shimmer, but super shiny and beautiful. That shade, Big Bend, that one has got kind of brown in it, but kind of purple in it. Super unique. I don't have anything like that in my collection currently. Yeah, absolutely loving this. I can't wait to play with it some more. I can't wait to create something that's a bit more neutral, or perhaps brown tone with it actually, browns and yellows. Really want to try that shade out, of course, because love me an orangey red shade. So I think this could be one of my favourites they've ever done. So yeah, really recommend it. If you, as I said in the intro, if you're the sort of person that likes colour but not too much, you want it a little bit toned down, or you enjoy dual tones, which I do, you want shadows that kind of beginner friendly, that don't run away with themselves too quickly but are buildable to a pretty good intensity, as you can see on my eyes right now. You maybe want to do some neutral looks some days, but you want to play with a bit of colour. This one's perfect, guys. Absolutely and wholeheartedly recommend it. I think I'm a little bit biased because Nomad Cosmetics have been one of my favourite brands since I tried the Tokyo Harajuku palette. I've got, I think, 6 maybe of their palettes now. They never let you down. They're amazing quality and just an all-round super lovely brand to deal with, and that are so supportive of the small creator community, which I think is really important. So yeah, that brings me to the end of my thoughts on the palette and to the end of the video. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you have, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to have you. But other than that, guys, hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.